Queen Ruby is visiting the school, so Peril is hiding. She complains a lot to herself. She meets Turtle in the hallway. She creeps him out by talking strangely and using the word murder over and over again. Not the best way to make new friends.
Argofunk Book Review, Argofunk Book Review.
Queen Scarlet interrupts with the severed head of Queen Glory. That is also not the best way to make friends. It's quickly discovered the severed head is a fake made with a magic paper. I have to say, that is a huge magic paper. For the rest of the book, the magic papers are as small as earrings. That makes sense. If you only have a limited supply of magic paper, you need to write as small as possible. This one is a huge waste of paper. Actually, there's a fair amount of blank space on this paper. Someone could rip it off and write down something new, which would magically come true. Or they could write on the backside of the paper. Too bad nobody thinks of that. Peril and Turtle leave on a mission to kill Queen Scarlet. Peril is very conflicted, since she spent years as Queen Scarlet's killing machine. Will anyone truly trust her? Even when the Talons of Peace arrive, they start a fight with Peril, because they hate her. And they have peace in the name Talons of Peace. Turtle is surprisingly protective of a rock. Peril and Turtle try to enter a dragon city through a river. That seems to be the only way Peril can get inside without making a huge scene. Despite the attempt at stealth, Peril's deadly firescales still cause a giant explosion. That's another big reason that she's conflicted. She physically can't touch most things. They meet up with Quibbly and Moon. In the desert, Peril's attacked by Winter. At first, she's glad to have a chance to fight and work out her frustrations. About halfway through, she realizes, no, this is wrong. She can't fight an innocent person. She accidentally touches Winter. He starts to die. Turtle rushes in and saves Winter with his rock. It's a magic healing rock. This leads to the revelation that Turtle has magic powers. Yeah, pretty much every single one of our dragons has a super secret power. It's kind of funny when the characters complain about that. Peril leaves by herself. She's approached by a sandwing named Soar. The revelations come quickly. Soar is actually her father. He's a Rainwing by birth, but he was exiled because he can't change colors. He found Darkstalker's magic scroll. He wrote a bunch of spells out so he can change into dragons of different species. He's the magic dragon who's helping Queen Scarlet in exchange for treasure. I love the explanation for why he doesn't use the magic spells paper to give himself treasure. He didn't think of that. He's not evil, he's just dumb. He gives Peril a necklace which removes her fire scales. Now she's normal for the first time in her life. She's so happy. Peril and her father accompany Queen Scarlet as she retakes the throne. She takes Queen Ruby's young son as a hostage to force Ruby into surrendering. Readers are led to think that Peril has gone bad, but that's not the case. It's another one of Scarlet's sneaky tricks. About 20 pages later, it's revealed the necklace magically erased Peril's memories of the first book. Peril eventually realizes the trick and destroys the medallion. I'm sad she didn't keep the medallion. It is still useful, even if it erases some memories. Like maybe she could just scratch out the part of the spell that mentions amnesia. Is that an option? Ruby and Scarlet have a duel to the death, but Ruby isn't fighting at full strength. This makes Peril realize that Tourmaline is the answer. Tourmaline is... I'm sorry, I don't remember who she is. The series has far too many characters for me to keep track of. There is a year-long gap between these graphic novels, which doesn't help. I wish there was a recap section at the start of the book. I have a feeling this section would have been like a huge, shocking surprise if I remembered who Tourmaline was. Anyway, Peril realizes Tourmaline was magically transformed into Ruby. Peril destroys Ruby's magic earring, which turns Ruby back to her true self. That allows her to win the battle. Peril meets up with the other main characters. They confront her father, and they force him to give up the magic scroll. There's a long discussion about what to do with it. Do they hide it? Do they attempt to use it? The scroll could bring eternal peace. Peril realizes the temptation for evil is too much, so she destroys the scroll with her firescales. This proves to be the worst idea possible, as it brings the evil Darkstalker back to life. The end. Post-book follow-up. It took me a while to get into this book because it was a lot of characters I don't remember, talking about events I don't remember. Fortunately, the first part does have a lot of scenes which are just Peril and Turtle talking to each other and becoming friends. Those served as a good hook for the story. It really drew me in. It helps that Turtle is a fairly unknown character with a fondness for one-liners, and it helps that Peril's just an awesome character. She's like in my top 5 favorite characters. Okay, there's Glory and Peril. I don't know who the other 3 are, though. The dialogue is fairly snappy overall. It is pretty text-heavy. Wait, the one handsome Nightwing who is always flirting with Glory, he can be in the top 5, too. Anyway, the dialogue in the book is fairly snappy overall. It is a pretty text-heavy graphic novel, and most of the scenes are characters talking to each other. I kind of got a little stuck writing the summary because it's Peril talks to one group, then she leaves for somewhere else, and then she talks to another group, and then she leaves for somewhere else and talks to another group. I assume that all these scenes were separate chapters in what was originally a long book. Peril is a good main character. She thinks about Clay so much. I wish he played more of a role. He's barely in the book. I like the stuff with her dad. I found Scarlet to be too cartoonishly evil. It detracted from the premise that Scarlet's the only one who legitimately likes Peril. On the other claw, Scarlet acted like a cartoonish evil villain in previous books, so in this book, if she suddenly acted like the Mother of the Year, that would be weird. Overall, it is a good book, and I am super excited to see what happens next in the series. I give Wings of Fire graphic novel number 8, Escaping Peril, an 8 out of 10.